Hello again.
Hi. So are we deploying today?
Yes, let's go to production.
Okay.
All right.
Our definition of production, but okay.
JUnit toolbox. Let's see what we have here in the toolbox. We covered this in the last episode. The platform for deployment is Heroku.
I think that's the only thing that's left, actually.
Yes, I think it's
We
the
went
only
through
thing.
everything else.
So Heroku, here it is. Let's create a new app and call it TODOOSE.
Yeah. I think that's become standard.
Yeah, and it's available too, which is good. Okay, so now we have an app.
Yeah.
Let's open the app. Welcome. All right, we have an app. It is hosted in todoose.herokuapp.com.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not running our app.
It's
running
just
a landing page, but it's still one app. So how do we get the code from GitHub to Heroku? Simple.
There's an integration. Just you
here
connect to
in deploy,
GitHub.
Connect to GitHub.
Yep. Easiest way to do it, to be honest.
And I want to find a repository called TODOOSE.
Yeah, that's it.
Right here, connect.
It'll ask you for permission.
No, because I have granted the permissions before.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you are going to read documentation about this online, you're going to find a million different ways to deploy. This is the easiest.
Yes, like by far.
Yeah. Don't worry about Heroku CLI if you find that. Don't worry about pushing to a repository that belongs to Heroku, adding another remote to Git. Don't do that.
This is simple.
Yeah. So
I would say,
enable automatic deployments. Anytime we push to master, we will deploy.
Yep.
But we have to wait for Travis.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, we could always deploy, but I think it's better to see if Travis is passing.
It's okay, yeah.
That's our continuous integration server from the previous episodes. If Travis says the code is okay, then we can deploy.
We don't want errors on production servers, basically.
Yeah. So that is the truth. Anytime we push to GitHub and the tests pass,
it gets deployed.
It gets deployed.
Simple as that.
But I don't want to push right now. I just want to try to deploy what we already have and see what comes up. So I'll just click here on deploy branch.
Yeah.
Anytime I push, the thing will deploy, but I can force it to deploy.
That is also an option, yeah.
And now we see.
I think it's a good idea to just deploy it once you're in a stable, like do a manual deploy when you're setting up Heroku, and then see if stuff is working. And after that, never worry about manual deployment. Let it do it automatically.
Yeah, I find it good for debugging.
Yeah.
So here we see some logs of Heroku trying to deploy. And the second line, the first line is good. It detected that we are using Gradle. The second line I don't like.
Is a problem, yeah.
It's using an old version of Java.
Yeah.
And then it goes on to fail for other reasons. But first, let's fix this.
Yeah.
We want to use Java 12.
Yes.
So I looked on the documentation on Heroku. There is this documentation for Java and for deploying Gradle apps.
Yes. This
to Heroku.
This link is in the toolbox page. So you don't really have to look for it as much as just go to the toolbox and click on it.
You're making promises here. No, the link is not, but it will be now.
I thought it was. I thought you clicked on those two links and came here. That's why.
No, but I will add that to the toolbox. When people watch this, it will be there. Okay, so here we have a way to specify a JDK and specifying a Java version.
Yeah.
That's what we want. To specify a Java version, you create a file with this name.
System.properties, yeah.
Let's go to IntelliJ. And
you need it outside, I think. Yeah.
File, new file, system properties.
It's a weird file name, to be honest.
I think it's some Java thing.
Could be, but it doesn't follow like a packaging, like what do you call, name template or anything. Like I don't get what system.properties might be.
I think it's a Java thing. I think that you can set other things besides the Java version. You can set things for configuring the web server, but
it's too much
don't ask me.
Yeah.
Anyway, we can say what the Java version is, and 12. We want not only 12, but a specific version.
Oh.
We want this one.
12.
Because those are the versions that are supported.
Okay. Yeah. Go with something straightforward. Don't try to screw things up right now.
Now, I am going to do something that we usually don't do. I'm going to push to master directly because that will trigger a build.
Yes, I think it's a good idea.
Also, just for now, while we are doing this, while we are debugging, I'll disable this.
Okay.
So even if I don't want to wait for Travis to deploy because I'm debugging things.
Yeah.
So for now, I'll disable this, but remember me to re-enable this in here. So now we commit this. Are we on the right branch? I think we are on master.
I think so.
We are.
Yeah.
Yes. So we can just commit and add Java version for Heroku.
Yeah.
And commit and push.
See, we've not fixed the error that was actually there in the log. So I know it's going to fail.
Exactly the same way, but now with a different Java version. So okay, we can come here to activity, and we can see that the previous build has failed. But as we refresh, Heroku will pick up the new push.
There it is.
There it is. And we can see the log.
Progress.
And now it's using Java 12.
At least that's fine.
Yes.
So let's see it fail again.
Next, what it's doing, it's building the Gradle app by running the Gradle W stage. I think I briefly mentioned what Gradle W is before.
I think it's a better idea to make it clearer. You did say that it was a wrapper.
Yeah, so Gradle W is something that is in our repository, and it's Gradle wrapper. So on the command line, you can say Gradle W, and you can run it any task, like clean.
Or clean.
This will get rid of the build directory, for instance. In IntelliJ, there is a better way to run Gradle tasks. It's here in the Gradle tab, and you can come here to build and clean. And I could double click it. It would do exactly the same. But in the terminal, we have to use Gradle W. And you can see that the build directory is over because I cleaned the project. So, okay, it's trying to run this task called stage. But currently, there isn't a task called stage.
Anyway, if you can just go to the Gradle file, I think that's easier than...
Yeah, you can see all the... there are many, many tasks here that we didn't even set up because they are the default. But stage is not one of them. So let's go to the Gradle file. Some tasks here are just, we can take for granted because they come with these configurations like test. This verification test task comes from there. But now we need to add our own task.
Stage.
Called stage. And we can say that our task depends on another task. Because we could come here and specify exactly how to do building and whatnot for Heroku. But there is already a task for
exactly.
this.
Use something that exists. Why do you want to reinvent the wheel?
So let's look at the tasks we have available and find one that seems good. The first is build. I kind of like build.
It says that you test the project also, but I think we have Travis for that. I don't think it makes sense.
That's why I don't like this task. It says assembles and tests the projects. I only want to assemble the projects because we already have Travis. So I will go to the assemble. Assembles the outputs of this project. Let's try this out. Let's see what happens. If I double click on this, it's running now the task assemble.
That's it.
And you have a build directory with our classes in there. So now item has been compiled.
That's your class file.
Awesome. So we have the assemble task. So we can say that the stage task depends on assemble.
Is that the right syntax? Can you check?
Yes. Let's go back to...
didn't pick up anything.
So here, coming back to the documentation, there is this section that has something similar to what we have, except that they are using build. And we don't need that. That would be for Spring Boot. We are using Javalin. So it's inspired by this, but it's not exactly the same. And it appears that everything is fine because I didn't get an error from IntelliJ. And look at that. Somewhere in here, you're going to find a stage task, a new task. Let's run it locally just to see what it does. Well, it doesn't do anything because we just
said anything.
we just assembled.
So
it doesn't have to do anything. But for the sake of demonstration, let's clean. The build directory goes away.
Done.
And then stage.
So it should assemble and you have your build back. That's
excellent.
It's a start.
So let's commit that.
But can you show me the Heroku error?
Of course I can.
Is that all we need then?
Task stage not found. It will find it now. Let's see what breaks next.
Did
I learn the shortcut for committing? I did. So now there are some unversioned files. I'll not touch them.
Those are build files. So
I don't know why they are appearing here, but I will not worry about that right now. So add stage tasks for Heroku.
Yeah.
I also learned the shortcut for committing and pushing.
Yeah. That I saw. It's tedious to always use them.
Now let's go back to activity, and we have two builds that fail. We are going to see another one. Yeah.
Let's see if this passes. Okay. Good. That's fine. That is fine. Now it has stage, so it should do something.
It will at least build the project.
Let's see. Okay, that's still weird.
These are warnings. And these are warnings.
Okay with this?
Yeah, I'm okay with this because they're coming from within Gradle.
Yeah.
So it's something that the Gradle guys have to figure out.
Yeah, we don't have to do anything. Okay.
The build is successful.
We're not done. We're not through. Let's see.
It is compressing, but that's a Heroku thing. It's trying to save resources there. And now it deployed.
Okay, let's see.
Let's see.
Is that what we want?
Application error right away. But it's no longer that landing page from Heroku. Now it's our application causing an error.
Our application is actually there. It's just that there's some error. What do you call contacting or communicating from the application itself to Heroku.
So let's see what the log has to say. Here, if you read this, it will try to have you use the Heroku to the Heroku CLI.
Nudge you to Heroku CLI.
Yeah. If you want to install the Heroku CLI, then I don't know, go for it. But I prefer to come here to see the logs in the interface. So now we have the build successful, but no web process running.
Yep.
Well, we have to tell Heroku what to run.
Oh, yeah, we don't have anything on home.
Yeah, so you can see here in the overview, there are no dynos. Dynos are what Heroku calls the processes, the things that are running in your application.
Yep.
We only have one, the web server, but it doesn't show here.
Yeah.
And in resources, there are no
process types.
Process types. So it says that we should add a proc file.
Yeah, that's what we need to do.
Yeah, so we'll now add a proc file to say to Heroku, this is what I want you to run.
That you want to deploy.
Yeah, Heroku is smart in some ways. For instance, it knows how to detect that you have a Gradle app, but it doesn't know about Javalin. So we have to tell Heroku, this is how you run my project.
Yeah.
And you do that with a proc file. So let's create one. File, new, file, proc file.
Yeah.
Now here you can list many kinds of processes.
Yeah.
We only have one, which is our web server.
Process,
This name is special. I'm calling it
an
web.
identifier?
You can have many processes here. Let's say you have another process for, I don't
Compute.
know. You are compressing images, let's say, whatever.
Yeah.
Build thumbnails. And then you have another thing, Java jar run my thing.
Yeah.
But we only have one. Oops, sorry.
Don't.
What I meant. So we only have one task, and it's called web. The web task is special for Heroku because it knows that that is the task that should be compacted when you try to see the application.
In some respect, a keyword identifier that Heroku knows to look for them.
Yes.
Okay.
You can have many processes doing many things on the background, but only one on the foreground.
Yep.
Only one here showing up your app.
Web thing for Heroku.
And that is our web task. And what do we say here? Well, I don't know.
How to build Java?
How to build? We covered that. Now we want
to run.
How to run.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so we have here in the build directory a jar.
Yeah.
So our first attempt could be to say, I have to run this from the command line, right? So let's run Gradle w clean to get to a clean slate, and then not assemble, but stage.
Yep.
Now we are reproducing locally what Heroku is doing on their servers. Now we could try to say, for instance, Java minus jar build libs TODOOSE. But by the way I am saying, you can tell that, this won't work. Because in the jar, there are all our files. But it doesn't know which one is the main file.
So you need to specify what to actually use.
I want to do an exploration here in case people don't know about jars. So let's open the jar in the file browser. A jar is just a zip with a different termination. Instead of .zip, it's .jar.
It's a collection of files compressed. It's a collection of Java class files compressed.
Yeah. So here I uncompressed the thing, and I can see that there my things in the resources
stuff,
they ended up here. So we had stuff in the resources directory here in the main resources. That is put into the jar.
Public.
Our classes are also in the jar.
It's in the com directory.
And there is some manifest file. That is like extra stuff.
That's what it wants. It wants no main manifest attribute, right?
Yeah, so in this manifest file, we can put many things, like the version of the manifest file itself. But we can also say what is the class to
main
run.
File,
And that's what we need to do. We need to tell what is the main file in the jar. Okay, how do we do that? Let me first delete this. Well, I was looking around and I found this Gradle plugin called Application, which helps us run the application. I think it's awesome. We don't even have to try to say Java minus jar. We don't have to do any of that. Gradle will do that for us, and we will say what the main class is. It will figure everything else
by itself.
That's helpful. Another thing you may be thinking is, but I only have one main in my project.
It does not matter.
I only have this main. Why can't it figure it out? Well, you could have different mains. If you had different tasks like build thumbnails.
Then you'd have a different main function for a different class file that is linked to that particular.
You could have multiple entrance points for your application for different tasks.
That's why you need to specify what you're actually using. So that's why the application plugin.
So let's see.
This is pretty neat, to be honest.
Let's see if we can configure this application plugin.
That's all you want.
And also we have to say what the main class is.
At the end, you need to change that.
Yes. Now
it's com.jsu.
I suppose that we can right-click here and copy reference. That works. Fine. Now Gradle is adding new tasks here.
Let's see.
Besides all the ones we have a new task called application run. Excellent. Run this project as a JVM application. So now we can try that. Gradle W
application
run.
Oh, right, run. Sorry.
This is now running the server. Excellent. So now we know what to say in the proc file. What we want to say is Gradle W run.
That's all.
Okay, let's commit all this. So add
application plugin.
Application plugin
for Heroku.
Did you notice that the build files were no longer there? I don't know what was that.
I think it's just, I don't know actually. You should not push build files, by the way. I disagree with that.
Never put them into version control.
That's a bad idea for everyone else working on that project.
Yes. IntelliJ goes crazy if you try to do that. Build in progress.
Let's see.
And I know that the build will succeed because it succeeded the last time. But
if the application works.
Let's see if the application will work. Now, I don't really know. There may be another thing we may have to do, but I don't really know if we will have to do it.
It's interesting to find out, 68.5 megabyte.
Interesting, right? We are running the stage task, and we told it to run the assemble task, but the assemble task itself is composed of many other tasks, including the jar that we saw, and compile Java that was producing the class files in the build directory. So it has deployed. Try to run. Hanging in there, it's probably spinning up the application.
Okay. When you deploy it for the first time, Heroku takes so much time.
Like 5 to 10 seconds. It's crazy.
It does not take 5 to 10 seconds, as we can see. It is just boring.
So resources here now shows our web task that is running Gradle run. And it is spinning up the application, I suppose. Let's look at the logs while we are here.
What is actually happening?
Okay.
It's starting a Gradle daemon.
Here are some highlights of this release. Okay, whatever. Starting a Gradle daemon, subsequent builds will be faster. Okay, I believe you. I hope they will be.
Really hope so.
I don't know what I just did.
I have no idea, actually.
I opened my history in front of everyone. Isn't that super terrifying? But it's good.
Yes, exactly what I was going to say. I think people have been through far more embarrassing stuff than that.
Still spinning up the application and it's not doing anything.
That is unusual.
It is. Oh, okay, we got some error. App boot timeout.
Yeah.
Interesting, because this doesn't tell us why it's timing out. An app crashed and everything. Yeah. So yeah, this is not working. But now the error messages are not helping us. So I'll have to Deus ex machina here and tell you what's going on. What's going on here is when you start your application in the web task, so here in the resources, we have the web task. Your application is expected to bind to a certain network port. Yeah. If we don't say anything, like we are not saying anything now, the port is 7,000. 7,000. We told it to run on port 7,000. So our server is indeed running on port 7,000.
It's just that we can't access it there.
Yeah, but Heroku is expecting it to run on a different port.
Yeah.
So it keeps waiting for the application to spin up.
Yeah.
And it never does, because it's already running on the other port. Yeah. And because the application is running, Heroku thinks, okay, you are doing some work, you are spinning up the application and things like this. You are setting up all the handler for the endpoints. You are doing all this database work, and it's waiting for you to finish. Yeah. And the way you tell Heroku that you finished is by binding to that port, which we are never doing. So,
do you want to debug that right now?
Yeah, I want to fix that.
Okay, let's do it then.
Yeah, the way to fix this is to bind to the right port. Yep. Which port? You might be thinking, well, the right port is the port that Heroku tells you to use.
So what you don't know?
Yeah, so the port is in this environment variable. Environment variable is just something that is available to you when the process starts. Yep. So here we can say, don't start on port 7,000. First, check, do I have a system environment variable called port? If you don't, then go to 7,000 because that's all you have. Otherwise, go to this port. Yeah. Except that this doesn't really work because this getEnv returns a string and we want a number, so we have to say integer get integer. Yep. And now this will start either on the port that Heroku is telling us to start or on 7,000,
which is our thing.
Yeah, in development it will start in 7,000. Yeah. So now let's listen on right port for Heroku. We are so running out of time here.
Yeah. I hope this works.
Yeah.
It's pushed. Let's see where is. Yeah, there's a build in progress. I'm detected.
I suppose this will work. And it's already committed and everything. Yeah. So the only thing left for me to do is to re-enable the Travis thing.
Yep. But let's see. So it's compressing.
The build is successful. It's now trying to put it in start the application and everything.
This has become a bigger file.
It has. I don't know why.
Yeah. Refresh. Can you go to view more logs and see how far along it is?
It's now doing some
It's better.
thing.
Okay, it's better now. It's
build succeeded.
Go there again. Starting a Gradle daemon. Okay.
We are really running out of time. I think we'll have to see this on the next one. Cliffhanger.
I didn't expect that. But yeah, we might be short. Let's do it on the next one. Weird thing. Oh, wait. No.
Memory code exceeded. Different kind of errors. Exception in main, no pointer exception. Oh my god, the build failed. It failed horribly. We are still not there. The application is still failing.
Yeah.
We'll fix this on the next one.
Did not expect that to happen.